Hi, my name is Melisa. I'm from Singapore, part of the Resource Global cohort for this year, 2021. I'm currently a key opinion leader manager for a medical device company in Asia Pacific, and I specialize in eye care or ophthalmology. So before joining this current medical device company, I was actually primarily in pharmaceuticals. I was actually working in Sydney in Australia, and I remember someone coming to church, and it was her first time in church, and she moved from Jakarta. Her name is Irene, so shout out to Irene. And I remember our first conversation about our jobs and career. This person, Irene, started sharing with me about Resource Global, how she got involved in her cohort, and I was very interested because I told her there isn't anything like that I've heard of in Australia. I was also thinking about how to develop my career. And little did I know, I actually moved from Australia to Singapore during COVID. It was then that it just became, so relevant to have, spiritual leaders that are in the marketplace, people who can actually walk me through this journey, entering into this new role in the regional office. And even before starting my career, I actually got to know my CD directors in Singapore, Yu King and Sharon. So yeah, I think that's how it kind of started off. The one thing that I've always questioned or I've always struggled with is how do I bring both worlds, my career as well as my spiritual life? How do I actually bring these two worlds together? So throughout the 8 months in the Resource Global program, I was always intrigued by the fact that there are lots of people from different industries, lots of amazing people at Resource Global, both locally and also internationally. And I think that was when I felt, the two worlds that I talked about, they collide, on a daily basis. I think for me, there's still, a little bit of that fear. It wasn't just me who struggled with it, but many people are also thinking about ways to, share the gospel at work, or, just thinking about the challenges that we have to be a Christian in the marketplace. So I got comfortable with the idea of having like-minded people together at Resource Global and just, sharing with each other what the challenges are at work and how do we overcome that. One of the biggest learning for me was actually after the global cohort gathering. It was one of the stories that was shared about Joseph and how he got thrown to prison. I often feel like all of us are a little bit like Joseph, where we kind of feel stuck in the environment that we're in. It's not that I'm not happy with my job, but I just feel like being thrown in a new environment, what are the different resources that I can lean on? Joseph was put in a position where he found favor with the bosses and just the fellow prisoners, and I think with that I was able to relate that to my current workplace, where I felt because of COVID the business has largely been impacted. I was not able to do everything that I thought I could do, but I think God gave me the opportunity to take a step back and realize that being in Singapore and being in this job, being a key opinion leader manager in healthcare is beyond just doing my usual job. I was actually observing all my clients, and when I talk about my clients, they are actually eye surgeons, in fact top eye surgeons in the region. So as I was observing their lives, there was actually this particular surgeon who is a professor. Well, I got to know that he is actually a Christian, but like I say, the things that I struggle with, I do not necessarily tell my customers that I'm a Christian, and likewise my customers don't tell me that they are Christians as well, but we kind of know. So I think one of the things that I had the courage to do, and I shared this with my CD director Yu King, is to think about ways to create a platform for thought leaders or key opinion leaders like this professor that I was referring to think about how to get them to actually share their journey as a Christian. And Of course, I was a little bit scared because normally I would approach him as someone from the industry, but this time, and with the support from Resource Global, I was able to actually approach him as someone from Resource Global and gave him the platform to share his faith and to share how the faith has actually helped him be successful in the area that he's in. I approached him and immediately the professor said yes. We gave him a topic and the topic was around the role of leadership in innovation in healthcare. This professor has won numerous awards. He is internationally renowned and he's working on things like artificial intelligence. But I think all in all, the main thing that he was sharing is actually everything that he has learned from the Bible. So I just thought that was very cool, very amazing, because I never ever thought my customer would actually be sharing about the Bible to a group of Christians. And admittedly for him, he said he was extremely nervous because it was his first time doing such a thing. So I think with that, that was just one example, and it actually made me think, as the fact that I'm a key opinion leader manager for a medical device company. How do I then become a key opinion leader manager for, in the spiritual world? Like I said, this is just one person, and I really pray that there will be more of such people that I can encounter with, I can identify, and we can create platforms like that for them to actually share the gospel and share how God has actually helped them be where they are right now. So if any of you are actually thinking about joining Resource Global, I say don't think too much, because as I said, this should not be something that is of two worlds, complicated. But little did I know that this is actually very, very much incorporated into our daily lives. To have like-minded people, gospel-centered, your city directors, other Resource Global members walk alongside you in your career, even if it's just 8 months. I'm sure by the end of it, you'll want more of it. So I would say don't sit on it for too long. Make that decision and join.